You've watched my stuff. You know what I joke about.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully you got some fat guy questions, because that's pretty much my expertise.
We're like, oh, not again.
Hey, and with that, we got Brandon White on the show.
Yeah, what's
AKA B White.
B White, thank you so much.
It's a nickname.
It's a nickname, not a suggestion.
There you
Just
go.
for the
I was waiting for
record,
that.
don't need any emails on that one. All right. Been B White before it was a problem, actually, a long time before it was.
When was that? How long ago was it?
Probably junior high football. People have been calling me B White. It was just always on, because they always did your first initial and then your last name before you got numbers. And so it was just always
true.
B White.
Right.
And that's what people kept calling. I had a college professor that called me B White.
That's so
Really?
funny.
Yeah, it's just been a nickname that I've had for a long time.
You know they got a chuckle every time.
Oh yeah, of
they're
course.
just like-
Especially now that I'm like making it obvious. That was actually
Right.
the first joke that I wrote.
Okay.
It's funny that this is my nickname.
Right.
And then I was just telling it to people, and people were like, "Why aren't you doing that on stage?" And I was like, "I don't know, dude. It's just something I say." And they were like, "That's how stand-up works." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, when you tried stand-up, I've been doing it since."
Right? No, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
All right, so having people on the show, you know, if you've been seeing us, you go to all the local comedy and having local comedians and creators on, which is, you know, why you're here as a local comedian. And you talked about starting stand-up. So one of the things we always like to get is that origin story.
Origin story. Well, I was an actor for a long time.
Okay.
I grew up in the theater program in high school. I went to college for theater. I was an actor for a really long time. And then you get out of school and you realize that art is really hard to do. Especially like the way that I look, and this is like, it's a criticism, but it's not at the same time. I was in an acting class in college, and one of my professors was like, "You might not work till you're 50,
Right.
just because of the body shape, the way you look, the way your voice sounds." And I was like, as a 20-year-old, that's some shitty news to get as a 20-year-old. And then so I was just I got into the tech side of things. I did that for a number of years, where I was building sets. I worked at a high school. I met Pearl Jam, stuff like that.
That's cool.
I was just pushing 800-pound boxes for 10 years, and I was like, man, I really just want to get back into performing. And that was December of 2019, where I was like, okay, I'm going to go do stand-up. I've got some jokes now. I'm writing some jokes. And I was like, okay, I was working with this lady, and I was like, hey, Ruth, if I haven't done this by, let's say, March, make me do it. And then March 2020 rolled around, and I was ready to do it. And then I had to wait a whole other year to
Convenient.
write it. So it was like, and in that time, though, I had just started writing jokes. And so by the time I got to do stand-up the first time, I was actually ready for it. And there were people that came up to, people have been doing comedy for 10 years, and they were like, who are you? I was like, I'm just a dude who tried stand. Like, what is going on? And they were like, here's where you need to go. This is what you need to do. 17 people telling me I got to go to different places and do different things. And I was like, oh, I told 3 minutes of jokes. Like, and actually the first time I went to go do a stand-up set, we had been out of regular life for so long, I didn't realize that my license had lapsed. So I was driving around with an expired license, but we had that year where you were like kind of allowed to.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, here's my license. And the security guard was like, this is expired. And I was like, I came all the way from Redmond for this. Like, I'm not going back. I was like, clearly I'm over 21 years old. And they were like, oh, you just can't drink. And I was like, well, then don't give me a damn heart attack about my ID at the door.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't have to drink. That's fine. Like, let me go do my jokes, dude. That's the only reason I came here.
Right. It's like almost like you're not human anymore. Like,
Oh
you're
yeah,
not
and then
allowed
like
to
I
go
almost ran out
places.
of gas on the way too. There was like a number of things that told me don't do this, and then I got there and I had so much fun.
Right.
Just that first laugh that you get is it's the best high.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah.
really is. There's little that compares to it.
So you were performance background, acting,
Yeah.
and then you were finding that way to have that outlet again, chose
Yes.
comedy. You had a lot of time to... Did you take classes?
I didn't take any stand-up classes,
Okay.
but like anybody can kind of learn how to do stand-up
Okay,
now if you just listen to the right podcast. I mean, there's always
Got it.
there's a ton of comedians love talking about comedy.
Yeah.
So even if you like there's certain episodes of Joe Rogan, if he's got another comedian on, like when they're not talking about conspiracy theories and aliens and shit, they talk about comedy, and it's actually really informative to learn how to do comedy is actually kind of really accessible now.
Did you go to a lot of comedy shows
I
prior
grew
to
up a
stand-up?
comedy fan, but I didn't. I mean, I'd seen maybe a dozen live stand-up shows before I really started doing comedy, but I wasn't really like into it the way that I am now. I like comedy. You know, Comedy Central was always around. They had the Comedy Central Presents. That was on every Friday for 6 hours. You know, you could watch a ton of stand-up if you wanted to.
Do you think that theater background helped you to feel comfortable on stage?
Oh, yeah, for sure. There's there's a theater competition that's the Irene Ryan acting competition, and somehow you go to this conference and it's like per division, so there's like 1,000 people that go to this conference and they're all doing this acting competition, and me and my buddy got into the final round somehow. No idea, not talented enough to be there. Like, we went in the middle and you could tell it was like high level acting. We were there and then and it was just like, okay, we got through it. And you could doing that in front of all the kids who lost that competition. There's very few stages that scare me anymore. These kids just like, why them? Like, they were just like, there's clearly these guys don't know what they're doing. This keeps falling on me.
Yeah, no, adjusted to where you wanted to be.
It keeps falling back down though.
We can tighten it up.
It's not a huge issue. Keep messing with it and make your life harder in post.
Yeah. Thank you. I know. Bring it up.
I'll tell you, Trenton loves that.
Yeah.
Like, don't touch anything. I'm like, I'm a toucher, bro. Sorry.
You'll get the you'll use the smoke. Just smoke that. Smoke. I was watching when I was going through your feed. I was watching when the first You Look Like promotions you did.
So
you talked
fun.
about Tacoma. It's like a dad.
Oh, it's like a deadbeat dad.
Smoke that.
That was fun.
funny.
We just walked around. Like, I went around the day before and just found a bunch of locations that were like super Tacoma. I was like,
Super Tacoma.
I mean that's what.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, that's true. And I was just like, hey man, why don't we do stuff around Tacoma and kind of roast Tacoma? Because that's kind of the Pacific Northwest is weird because they don't want you to make fun of stuff, but like they want to have fun at the same time.
Right.
You know, like people here, I don't want to say
Sensitive.
uptight, but yeah, sensitive is the correct. So I was like, hey, if we start making fun of Tacoma, people will know that this is a place you can go to kind of relax and have fun.
Yeah.
And that one just came out to where I was like, let's just say it's like a deadbeat dad, and Trent was like, I don't know about that material. That's the one.
There you go.
Might be pushing
That's
it.
the one.
No, that's funny.
That's what we
That
There
is
we go.
funny.
That's better.
You mentioned so on your first set sounds like you said, was it 3 minutes? Was it 5 minutes?
It was supposed to be 4. I think I did 3 something. I was like, okay, I'm done. That's all I got. I was like, oh, buddy, this goes quicker than you think.
But it sounded like you were well ready. You were practiced.
Yeah, I was prepared. I as prepared as you can be for something you've never done before. But I was like, this is what I'm gonna say. I was one of those people like in the car, just like I'm gonna say this in my head over and over and over and over and over again, and say the exact thing. And then you get on stage, and you don't say the same damn thing at all. You get on stage, and you're like, oh, people laughed at this joke. What's happening? And it's like, oh, I have no idea that people were gonna laugh at the things I said, even though I knew I was going to a comedy club.
Yeah.
It was like you have no until you do it. It's the only thing that you have to do in front of other people to know what it's like. Like, you can practice, you can shoot 1,000 free throws. Right. You can practice your guitar in your room alone. You can sing in your room alone, but you can't do stand-up alone. I mean, you can kind of do it, but it's not the same.
Yeah. You need that feedback.
Yeah, you have to have the audience. That's like I say, like, this and tattooing are the only 2 things that you can really do that you have to, like, really mean. Yeah. Because you're going to be doing it in front of people, or you're going to be doing it on somebody's body forever. Yeah. You know, it's hard to practice it. But I think I had a huge advantage being a theater kid coming in. Just like, it doesn't bother me to be on stage. It doesn't bother me to talk in front of people. And makes it a lot easier.
So for your
go for it.
No, go.
Well, I got a curiosity question because I know like there's a lot of different shows that are more for practicing your jokes, like the Tight 5 Tuesdays and stuff like that. Is that feel any different when you're doing a joke in front of other comedians versus people that aren't writing jokes. They're just there to be entertained.
Yeah, there's a bit. I mean,
You feel like you're judged.
the
more.
trap that a lot of young comics fall into, and I think everybody kind of does at some point, is that you're writing. It's called writing for the back of the room. So you're trying to get the other comics to laugh because those are your friends. You know, those are the people you're going to talk to about this. Right. But when you get over that and you realize the comics don't buy tickets, you start to write for the other people in the room. You know, it's really much. It's when you can figure out how to get over that and be like, hey, if I can be more generally funny, and it might mean dumbing your stuff down, it might be a little more generalization, it might be a little more whatever it is to get to the crowd. It's a huge advantage when you learn that. But like, there's also advantages to when the room is just comics. The advantage of that is that you can be super clever.
Okay.
Now, whether that translates to when you're, doing a sold out weekend at the club, maybe not. Okay. But that's just that's one of those things too. You have to do it to know.
Gotcha.
You can go up with your super clever joke that's got really, really deep nuance, or it's like, it's a reference that maybe not everybody would get. And you throw that in there, and then like a quarter of the crowd gets it. And when it's 300 people, a quarter of the crowd is
that's a big laugh.
90 people. Yeah, it's still decent, but at the same time, when you hear that 300 person laugh and you go, "Oh, that joke's not as good as the other one that 300 people got," it's kind of if you got to be smart to be able to listen to the crowd and listen to your stuff and figure that out in the end. Okay. But open mics they're essentially practice for us. Right. So if you ever go to an open mic, do not expect gold.
Oh, yeah. No,
I wouldn't even expect bronze, to be honest with you. Like, tin is probably like your best bet. Right. And that's even like...
You're going to get a blue participation ribbon.
Exactly. If you're lucky. I mean, if you're lucky, and you got to pay for it, We don't have to pay for stage time here, but like, you get a drink, you try to support the club, you try to support the bar that you're at. It's $5-10 to get on stage, you know? Right. And that's the right thing to do. There's a lot of comics that don't start buying shit at Flight Path, okay? So I need that.
Right.
Do you feel like, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being killed it, 1 being bombed it, how do you feel like you did your first time doing stand-up?
Oh, that's a very good question. I would say like 6. Like, that's the number I thought of like immediately. It was fun enough to want to do again.
Okay.
Yeah. But I also, it was a pain to get to do because I was living in Redmond at the time. So it was like a really long drive to try to get anywhere. And there's no comedy on the east side. There's still, no comedy on the east side at all. And so it was fun enough to do again, but I don't think I did it for 3 months after that.
Oh, really?
Most people are like, "Oh, I'm addicted right away. I gotta do more now." And I was like, "Okay, that was fun. I'll listen to this set 900 times." Right. And then I was like, "Okay, maybe I have other jokes." And then I started going out to other places and doing that kind of stuff.
That's cool.
Solid 6 though.
Okay. I mean, hey, that's better than some.
Yeah, I mean, there's some people that I see that they do it their first time and they're a solid 2.
Yeah.
And for some reason they come back. I don't even know.
Trent's scoring record, that's a 0.
Right.
So I mean, and yet they still, like you said, they still come back.
They
keep
back.
Going.
They still, whether it's the attention or whatever
0,
it is.
but it's fine.
Yeah.
No, I think that's true. Some people like to be just looked at. I remember we were at one of these shows and someone really tried to get on stage and got on stage and was rough.
They were terrible. Yeah.
But they got their fix of getting up there. Mm-hmm. So if you would have bombed, would you have gone again? I mean, you've had to have bombed.
Oh yeah, everybody bombs. If somebody says they haven't bombed, they're lying. Yeah. Period. Everybody bombs. It's part of. You can bring your best stuff, and the crowd can just look at you and go, "No," that day. They just don't want you, whatever it is, whatever reason. Everybody's bombed, but if I had bombed my first time. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, if I had driven all the way out there,
my license
almost ran out of gas, my license is expired, and I bombed, no, I probably wouldn't go back. I'd probably be like, Tacoma is the worst place ever. I'd be like, why in the world would you guys make me come all the way out here? But no, I started a really advantageous time. I started October 2021, or not October. March, April 2021. So it was right when the club had opened. You still had to be 10 feet away from your other table.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like a weird, but people were there and they were there to laugh. Like it was like, thank God we have something to do.
We can get out.
You know,
You're talking
exactly.
about at Super Funny?
This was at Tacoma Comedy Club,
Oh, okay.
the downtown
Outside,
location.
we're happy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
One thing you mentioned after your first time was all the comics coming up and telling you what you have to do next, because you're funny. Obviously, you're good. You impressed them enough. They're probably not going to do that to someone who bombs. They're just like, oh, well, you suffer.
Great job, bud.
You find so as we're kind of exploring the Northwest comedy scene, you're saying there's not much on the East Side. I do see that there are shows like in Redmond, but there's not much going on. Is the scene really supportive?
Yeah, the Pacific Northwest scene it's how do I put it? It's almost a lower barrier to entry than a lot of other places. So like you talk to people from like the East Coast, a lot of them, they have to pay for their open mics. So they're paying $5 to get 5 minutes. And then it is only comics. There's not even 2 or 3 civilian people there.
Oh, wow.
Like it's all comics. LA's kind of the same way where you're paying for your mics and you're paying for stage time for a long time. Here, I did a 20-minute set 9 months into comedy. I told the guy from the East Coast that, and he was like, "You did what?" He was like, "I have to come to the West Coast to do long sets because in the bigger markets, there's just less stage time, you know. And if you can get $5 a person and put 15 people on the show, you would rather do that than give, you know, that if you give everybody 5 minutes, let's do 10, just so it's easier. 10 people on the show is 50 minutes. You'd rather get that $5 from 10 people than $10 from 2 people who want to do 20. You know, so the we can get sneaky good out here because there is a lot of stage time. There's a lot of real shows with real crowds that come, and that I think is what is when we go to different markets. Like I was in Austin, and there are some great comics in Austin. There are a lot of shit comics in Austin too. And being on like the shit comic side of doing stuff and then just doing the regular stuff that I do here, crushed.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing different here. I've never crushed harder than when I went to Austin, Texas, and I said, my nickname is B. White.
Oh, they just lost it.
2 seconds into my set. And I was just like, is this? I was like, okay, clearly something is about, exactly. I was like, something in the Pacific North, whatever we're doing here is making us better in other locations. And I see that with other people who travel too. They go, you know, the stuff that I do in Seattle, Tacoma area, it does just fine. Yeah. But then you go other places and it's like elevated for whatever reason.
Kind of sounds like you know, with having more stage time, you're getting more reps.
Exactly.
You're getting more practice.
And that's to get better at comedy, you just have to do more comedy.
Gotcha.
And we have a lot of comedy. Yeah. You know, you can get up here almost every night of the week for free. Most times in front of, if it's 30 people at the bar, 15 of them are comics, 15 of them are regular people. So you're looking at like a good mix of people who are listening to your jokes, people who are going to actually buy tickets later, and comics who are also able to help you forward your artistic, whatever your art is relative. But that's a different discussion. But yeah, super supportive around here. And like everything that is... Like even in like the karaoke scene, you see people have little cliques. Yeah. You see people have little groups that are, you know, these are the cool people. These are the people who think they should be the cool people. And that happens everywhere. So, I mean, there's some of that. But as far as like, you go to other places and it's like, these are the 6 people who get on. Right. These are the 30 people who want to get on. Here, that group of people who can get on is way bigger.
Gotcha.
And it's part and large because like New York, LA, and I guess maybe more now in Austin, you just have a lot more people, a lot more comedians.
Exactly.
I was watching the sitcom, I think it's called Crashing.
Yeah. Pete Holmes.
Yeah. And I just think when he was doing some of this, you're talking about just performing in front of comedians. I was like, oh yeah, that's what he shows in that. Exactly. Just in an empty place. And everybody there is just waiting. It's a comedian waiting to go on stage.
Oh yeah, and they're looking at their notes. They're looking at their phone. They're worried about what they're trying to do. That's what makes the comedian rooms super hard. It's like
because you need feedback on your
shit. Yeah, they're not funny and they're not fully engaged, and it's just like and they don't care about what you're doing. You know, it's their turn. You're number 4. They're number 9. So they got 5 more people to try to figure out their stuff when they get on stage.
Right.
It's also funny too because a lot of people are like, if I crush this open mic, I'm gonna be famous, and it's like there's nobody here to make you famous. Like the owner of the club isn't even here. How would this be the thing that makes you go? But at the same time, I was there too.
Right.
Where you're sitting there going, if I crush this open mic, I'll get to work weekends, and if I work weekends, I get to do that, and if I do that, I get to be on Netflix. And it's like, okay, there's about 97,000 other steps between those two,
no,
but
it's just this 3.
but it's also that motivation that keeps you coming back. You know that you can you get that laugh and you go, okay, when I come back, I'll get a better laugh.
Yeah.
When I come back, I'll get a better laugh, or I'll switch this, or I'll do something new and try to tie it into this. That's the fun part, is the little crafty part of comedy that I like.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Earlier you mentioned the comic mind, just through your observations of things, and that's exactly when you said that I was like, oh yeah, that's the more you do that, the more you're going to see those things.
Yeah.
And again, it's just continuously
It's just working that muscle.
crafting. So being a person who's in the Northwest scene, I'm going around and I'm seeing a lot more comedy. Maybe it's that effect where, you buy a red car, now you see red cars everywhere.
Yeah.
Now I'm just noticing it, but I go into my local Greasy Spoon to pick up some food, and there's a poster, comedy, and it's different people doing it. Do you think is it expanding in Northwest? Is it growing, or has it just kind of always been this?
I think it's always been this. I mean, you hear, I wasn't around before the pandemic, so you hear a lot more of, there were bigger shows before the pandemic, but there were less of them. So it feels like now, for a dude who doesn't drink a lot, I'm in a lot of breweries, and every brewery looks the same. For the record, it's always polished concrete floors. They've always got some sort of dark top on their table. Exactly. They all look the same. But I think more smaller businesses are seeing, look, if we run a comedy night, we can get 30 people in here, hopefully 50 to 100 people in here that wouldn't normally be in here. Or it's something cool for our regulars to do.
Right.
That's a big thing that I find in these if you can find a clientele who wants to support the owner, you'll always have good shows there. They might not be 1,000 people there, but they'll always be good shows because they're like, hey, this is what the owner wants to do. This is what we're going to support the owner doing. And that's always nice. I think though, it seems like where I'm at, especially in comedy, where I'm starting to headline local shows and really a solid feature at all these shows, I'm seeing more like I'll be at a show, I'll do a show, and then somebody at that show will be like, hey, I run a coffee shop.
Right.
What could I do to get this? So I think people are more interested in, especially when they see a successful show, and then they're like, oh, how do I get a successful show? And I think that especially when... Do y'all know where Rockport is? Rockport, Washington.
Over on the coast?
It's in the middle of the Cascades, North Cascades. So you go to Arlington and then you go in the mountains. One of the most fun shows we have. Yeah. You literally be at this, the bar is the only building in town that isn't a house, right? And you'll be at this bar. The show starts at 7. It'll be 6:55. Nobody in there. And you're like, oh, this is going to suck. Right. Then at 7:02 when we're about to start, it's full. Because everybody, that's the only thing they have to do in town. Right. Yeah. So everybody comes. So that's always nice to see is it's weird to be like, oh, we're going to go to Sumner. Right. There's nothing in Sumner, but then 60 people show up because it's the only thing to do in town. And it's so nice to be able to see. And I think that's where a lot of people are like, okay, if they can do this in Rockport, we could definitely do it in Arlington or Darrington or a little spot in Everett or, Linwood or any number of places where they have a location and people who want to go.
Right. I was going to ask, do you have a preference on what you like better versus venues like breweries or stuff that's out versus clubs? Because I know lighting's going to be different.
Preference is that's a tricky word. Yeah. I will always take a full comedy club.
Okay.
Period.
Okay.
It's I think it's the way that comedy should be seen.
Sure. The vibe and everything
is about 300 to 500 people, maybe 100 to 500 people, because that TCC room, that Six and Proctor room, is so fun. Yeah. It's just a little kill box, but I think anything over 500 ish. you're kind of saturating. You have to do more. In those bigger rooms, you have to be more theatrical, if that makes sense. You have to play to the space more.
Okay.
Whereas in like a comedy club, you can do this and then talk to that person and and do this. You know, that's where Nate's super smart is. He has the cameras who film the people that he's talking about now. Yes. Because if you look at his early stuff, it's only him on stage. Right. And you're like, okay, this lady might look like whatever he said, but you can't see the person. So he was like, well, what we do is we get a camera so that we at least online we have that footage. And then Trenton came in, figured out how to put it on behind him, so he can be like, hey, there's somebody in the balcony that I want to
now he's hitting them, sitting in the front,
zoom in on that person, and then he can turn around and look at it on the wall. Yeah, it's like it's super smart, but always prefer a comedy club, especially a full comedy club. They're so fun, you know. And people are it's bar shows are hard because they might not necessarily be there for you.
You
know, that's especially bar show open mics. Like I run Flight Path, and I notoriously do not police it.
I was going to ask you about Flight Path.
Flight Path is in the middle of the hood. If you want to come to the hood, people say it's Burien, but it's actually Boulevard Park. Okay. Like there is across the street is a Dollar Tree and a Lavaderia that you can do your laundry in while you come to the mic. But it's so we get all kind, and like it's right next to the airport, so we get people that have just come in from the airport that have no clue what's going on. And I just turn the touch students off and start. Right. It's like, hey, we're doing comedy now. If you didn't know that, sorry. Like, it's just what it is. But I think that those rooms, when you can do your stuff and get through your set with the people ordering chicken wings and the guys in the back playing pool and the two ladies in the booth right next to you who don't care. When you do that in a comedy club that's full and the people are excited to be there, they're pointed the right way, they're being quiet, the servers are being quiet, it makes it so much easier. So I think it's like a balance of both. You kind of have to have those shitty bar shows, and I hate to call Flight Path a shitty bar show, but it is. You know, that's what it's a hard show, but it makes other shows easier.
I was going to say too, because it helps you to navigate those distractions, like you said. Because there's sometimes I'm on the stage and it'll be at the club, and I'm like looking around, like shut up.
Yep, like, you're in the crowd, right?
Yeah, I'm in the crowd. But I get that because if with people doing their natural things, not necessarily being there, it would be, I guess, in a way beneficial for the comedian to be like, okay, well, this gives me reps on how to navigate through that, focus on my joke, and entertain the people that are there for me.
Yeah, and then sometimes you just, there are times where you say something to a crowd, like at Flight Path, where you're just talking shit, and it's funny. Yeah. And you go, oh, well, that's something I can take. I would have never gotten that in a nice little polite comedy club crowd. But here, this guy was talking shit. I said some shit to him. I can use that later. That's nice. There you go. Yeah. Doesn't always work that way, but sometimes it works that way. Sometimes you almost get stabbed. You know, that's just the nature of the beast.
I was gonna say, I've seen hecklers, John, videos just get out of hand trying to go up on stage and stuff. Oh yeah. And I imagine in a more intimate scenario like that, it could be worse. So what is what's your funnest heckler story? Weirdest?
Okay, this just happened 2 Wednesdays ago. I'm doing a show in Everett. And it was like 15, 20 people in the crowd. So it's not much, and the room is not very big. Yeah. So you can kind of see everybody. I'm doing my stuff. I'm doing this new joke about dating big people, and this older lady in the back was like, ooh. And I was like, okay, I'm going to mess with them because clearly they're into this. So I started messing with them. No big deal. Got a good laugh out of them. 15 minutes into my set, one of the ladies is on the phone. And I was like, did y'all forget that we were at a comedy show? Like, I'm up here talking right now. And I go, what in the world could you be talking to somebody about? And she drops her phone and she goes, my nephew just died. And then I thought she was messing with me for a half a second. And then she just started bawling, crying. And I was just like, oh, what do I do? There's no, you can't tell jokes. After I was like, and in my head, I've been through some deaths in my life. So I was like, oh, what this lady needs she needs a ride home. She probably needs this. She probably needs that. What I've been telling people is like, whenever somebody dies, you go anything you need, but you kind of don't really mean it. You're just like trying to be polite. But I don't know this lady, so I'm not gonna tell her that.
Right.
So in my head, I was like, she probably needs to go home. She's been drinking. I just went, but I didn't say any of that out loud. I just go, can I get you an Uber? And it looked real insensitive. I'll tell you that.
No.
And then I was just like, okay, well, I'm done. I'm not telling any more jokes. The headliner had to go on right after me without even being in the room.
Thank you for that.
Had no idea.
Thank you for
And he
cooling
was
it
like,
off.
and like I'm a good enough comic to where I usually set up headliners pretty good.
Yeah.
And Adam was just like, what did you do? I was like, technically, I didn't do anything, bro. Like, I just was doing my
Blame
act.
God.
That was the wildest one. That just like I said 2 weeks ago, that just happened, and I was just like, what do I do?
Yeah.
You're just stuck. You're like, you can't be like, why did you take that call in the room?
Right.
If you like, there was just 1,000, and then we're in Everett. We walk outside, and my buddy was like, "Do you want to go smoke a bunch of weed?" And I was like, "Absolutely, let's go smoke a ton of weed." We went outside, and there's a dude across the street getting Narcan.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, bro, I'm just out here killing people. And Jeremiah goes, no, you're okay. He got up. I was like, God damn. It's ridiculous. That's the wildest, like, not even Heckler's story, but like, hey, there's people always who they get too drunk. Yeah. They think they're helping you. They're like, oh, I'm being funny too, and it's like, you don't realize that they paid me to be here, right? Like they asked me to be here specifically to do these things. Right. There's always two drunk people. Mushrooms for some reason is one. Like people be on mushrooms and they don't like understand that they're watching something. Like the only time I've like ever requested somebody be both times was because they were on mushrooms. Right. And it was just like you can't. Your brain cannot figure out what's going on.
Yeah, just too much.
Yeah, it's just in Pacific Northwest, we're big on those. Sure. You know? So it's like there's the only two times. One was at Laughs and one was at TCC where I was like, can we get this person to leave? Or at least further back in the audience because they just don't understand what's happening right now. Full on conversation. Really? You go, my nickname is B White, and they go, my nickname's Joey D, and it's like, what are you doing? You clearly
this isn't a conversation.
Exactly,
it's not
like
a conversation. And that's all
I call it like the Netflix syndrome, where like somebody's at home and they talk to their TV. Like I think that, and you know, when you're on shrooms, you can't comprehend that. Right? Live performances, unless it's a concert, don't go on mushrooms.
Don't do it.
Bad idea.
Don't do it.
I'm really respectful at comedy shows. But I have a problem sometimes of finishing the punchline. Like, I see it coming, and I don't yell. I never yell it out, but I might do it at the table. I'm like, just don't even do that. Yeah. Just shut up. Let it go.
I would say that comedian needs to work harder.
I'm pretty fucking smart, bro.
I'm not even saying you're not. I'm not saying you're not, but that's the way I like to write though too. Is if somebody else can get it, I change the punchline. I'm like, okay, there's got to be some other reference, some other thing.
Should I yell it out?
No.
Just be better, bro.
You do you, but you open yourself up to a world of professional shit talkers.
I know. I would never. I'm respectful.
With that face, I wouldn't. I'm just saying. No, I'm just kidding.
Two things I'll never want to do: heckle a comedian or go to prison with this face, because I'll be in trouble.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Do you ever get heckled though and just be like, I'm in the mood for this?
Oh, sometimes. Yeah, sometimes. And there have been a few where I'm like, this person's actually pretty funny. Yeah. Like there was one, I don't remember when, but it was at TCC, it was at the big room, and this girl was in like the kind of back, and she just had really good timing. Like just her heckle, like she just perfect timing on, and I was finally like, hey, you're pretty funny. You want to come up and tell some jokes? And she was very funny. Yeah. She got up and just out the top of her head told some jokes. I've never seen her again. She was so funny. I was like hosting that night, and I was like, I don't ever do this, but like you've been pretty funny tonight. Do you want to come try some jokes? We got some extra spots. And she was like, okay, and just came up and crushed. It crushed in obscurity and never came again.
It became that Field of Dream moment.
Exactly.
She just walked out the door.
She didn't get the bug. She didn't catch her.
Right?
Could have been dangerous.
It was a big risk.
Yeah.
It was also like at the club, you probably shouldn't fuck around like that. But I was like, the show's 45 minutes long. It's supposed to be 90. We might as well let you come up.
Right? Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Are there any jokes that you craft that you're hesitant to tell? You're not. I think you're mentioning something earlier. Like
there's material that I have that I retire essentially.
Oh, okay.
Like I think there's good jokes that I write that are not appropriate, and the style that I write, I'm not dirty, but I swear.
Sure.
But I'm also not super sexual, but I talk about I don't push any lines. But there's a joke that I wrote that's penguins are just orcas with Down syndrome. Decent joke, but you reacted exactly that way. That's why I don't tell that joke. That's why I wrote it. I was proud of it. It was good. Another one that I did that's just super dark and dirty is sleep apnea is just grown up SIDS. Jokes like that again did not love it. Did not love it again. But these guys love it. So it's like 2/3 of the room is okay with it.
I got sleep apnea, so I'm like, yeah.
I thought of that as being a mother.
I know that exactly.
And that's when that's something I knew even when I wrote that joke. I was like, I like this joke. Structurally, it's a good joke, and it's 7 words, which is almost a perfect joke. Yeah. But the reaction to it, especially with moms, especially with people in the special needs community, with the other one, I just don't need to do that stuff. Yeah. I get plenty of laughs doing other stuff that I can write enough to that I can go, okay, these 2 jokes that I like don't need to be in my act.
Right.
They don't even need to be in my act. That might have been the first time I told either of those jokes in a year and a half.
Now he's getting canceled.
Maybe. Yeah.
When it goes out. Be white, you're out. No.
Hey, white guys get canceled, we get more famous. So you can cancel me all day long.
We just need to be quiet for a little while.
That's what the thumbnail will say.
I make one video apologizing, I'm good.
That's true, though, because who was it? We were just talking about him when Allison was on here. Louis C.K. canceled. Now he's back strong.
Well, all these white guys got canceled at one point. Joe Rogan was saying the N-word. He just signed a deal for another $300 million. There's a bunch of people. The only person who really, his little
domestic violence
jokes, and he's selling out not even arenas. He's selling out. I don't even know what's past arenas.
Yeah, exactly.
What's past 15,000 seats? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Roseanne got canceled, didn't really come back. Kathy Griffin got canceled, didn't really come back. A bunch of black people got canceled, really didn't come back. Yeah. White guys, we come back.
Come back stronger than ever. No,
that heartfelt apology, maybe a tear or 2.
What's that privilege for you?
Yeah.
Oh, Aziz Ansari did a whole, he's not a white guy, but he did a whole special that the last 15 minutes of him was him sitting on the stool going, I know I did what I did. Okay, well, 2 years ago you said you didn't do anything wrong, so now you're on Netflix saying you did something wrong, and it's just, it's whatever.
I think, too, attention spans. A lot of people don't remember after a while because you're getting fed so much information daily that what used to be like a Ted Danson scandal, which will last for years, the time is shortened.
Yeah.
Just you're on to the next scandal.
Oh, yeah.
You're on to the next one.
That's
you're
true.
Yeah. Oh, that happened to such and such. That was only 2 years ago because you sit back, stay quiet, and then you just rise back up like you just went on a long vacation. So
yeah, there's so much more that we see every day than even 10 years ago.
Right.
30 years ago, your neighbor could die and you wouldn't know it till you asked the neighbor.
Exactly.
You would have no idea.
Exactly. We
take in way too much information.
Very true.
Whenever I start off my day with social media and the phone, especially if it's negative shit, which there's going to be.
Right.
Like I was just angry the other day. I was like, gotta not do that.
Yeah, you can't wake up that way.
Gotta not do that. You know, it's like, damn, let's shake it off.
Yeah.
So we know you got a lot of stuff coming up. You said earlier, I don't know if that we caught it on camera, but you said you were going to start doing skits. So you got your stand-up, sketches.
Skits, yeah.
You're doing stand-up. I did watch one of the things with the flight path you did, the Now and Later. I didn't watch it, but I saw. I thought that sounded interesting.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing. I'm producing a new show. So that show's produced by Luke Severide, who's a local headliner, international headliner guy now. But I'm doing a show in December that's called Two Highs and a Lie.
Okay.
The concept,
I saw
so the concept
that. I was
is,
like, what is this?
I have 3 contestants, right?
Okay.
The contestants are 2 of them take edibles before the show, and 1 of them doesn't.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they come up and do 7 minutes of comedy each. They go away. We do a couple of I've got a couple of local headliners that are coming in, and they're gonna do a little bit of comedy. Maybe they've smoked, maybe they haven't. That's where I'll put the products. And so if you're a weed store and you need product, come get me. It's just cheaper than you think, actually. But then, so we're going to pass 30 minutes doing that, let the edibles kick in. Then they come back and try to do another set. And then the audience gets to guess who's on edibles and who's not.
So they do it before. They take it, but it's not impacted. And
Exactly.
then
And
once
then we
it's
let
kicked,
it sit in. Have them come back,
That's awesome.
try to do a little set, do a little interview.
I always find it takes me about 45 minutes, but it depends, I guess, on how powerful
This is
I
the
don't do
first one that
too-
we're trying to gauge.
Yeah.
I also so
Depends
the
on
original
how
concept was people who don't smoke weed on edibles, and then I was like, oh, that's cruel. Being like, okay, now go entertain us is actually pretty horrible. So I'm gonna use people who are regular cannabis users that are
They at
okay
least
with taking a
gotta,
little 10 milli and going on with their day and actually being able to tell jokes.
Right.
They gotta at least keep their
Panic
system
attacks.
clean for an extended period of time, though, so that it hits a decent amount enough to make a difference.
that's
You know what I mean?
I could
No
request
smoking
that.
for
That'll
a
never
week.
happen. That'll never happen.
They've got their tolerance built up, but 10 milligram ain't gonna do nothing.
Maybe. I mean, I'll let them choose what they want.
Oh,
Maybe
right.
they
'cause
take a
can-
20.
Yeah, maybe.
They can be like, yeah. This is not
The
gonna
other
work.
thing I wanted to do was a 10, a 20, and a 30, and then the audience guesses. But that's so risky to be like, here, take a huge edible, and then do this show for me.
Oh, God.
The 30
Oh,
would
that's,
be me on stage just like,
Oh my god!
you're going to know. It's not even going to be how they are.
I've done the weed shows with some people, and there was one guy that he's not a regular weed smoker, and so he went out and smoked the weed and came back, and he just talked about how high he was the whole time. I mean, his whole 7 minutes, he was just like, man, you guys don't understand. We went outside and we smoked weed. And now I'm just high because when you smoke weed, you get high. I don't think he realized. I mean, to him, that was 2 minutes. You know, he was like, "Okay, I made my point." And he didn't realize that he had said it 17 times. And then the light came on. And he was like, "Oh, I guess I gotta get off now." That's so funny.
that's hilarious.
And sometimes that's good, but I want to, especially for the first one, I want a little more control over the situation. At least I can be like, at least the show will be funny from beginning to end.
Yeah.
And then the little twist thrown in there. We'll see how it goes, and then we'll play with it later.
I like that. I like the innovative. So you're getting comedy, but it's not just going and seeing stand up in the normal way. You're bringing in interaction in a sense, getting the crowd into it in a way.
I like theme shows, but sometimes the theme gets in the way of the show.
Okay.
Where it's like, okay, you came to a comedy club or you came to a spot that's advertising comedy, and your concept is just this, whatever the concept. I don't want to say it because people will get mad at me.
Yeah.
But sometimes it just takes over too much. There's a great concept show, if you haven't seen it, called My Straight Friends. It's Richie Armani and Joe
just started
Dombrowski.
seeing that.
Oh man, they
They-
are
Seattle
they
and
are-
LA, is that
yeah.
right? Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah, they're the perfect, because their theme is we're gonna bring straight people in and talk to them about gay stuff. And it's like, at the beginning, not to give it away, but at the beginning of the show, when you're in the green room, they're like, "Hey, we don't care if you know about gay stuff, play it up that you
right.
don't."
Right.
And it makes it so much better that you're like, "Oh, I don't have any clue what you're talking about," and they get to shit on you for it, and the crowd is it's so fun. But that's essentially what this this two highs and a lie will become is my straight friends with weed.
Okay.
But not to a point where I'm like freaking people out, you know. Like there was a period. I've been smoking weed for a very long time, and there was a period of time where I was like, if you get paranoid on weed, you're not doing it right. And now that I'm more mature, I'm like, okay, maybe weed isn't for everybody.
Right.
I get that it's
Okay.
a chemical thing that happens in your brain, and my chemicals work different than your chemicals. Your chemicals all work different. So now I'm like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have people who don't enjoy this doing this. You know?
I think my chemicals changed. I used to partake quite a bit.
Yeah.
I haven't for a few years now because I'm
Just don't
pretty
like
sure
it
my
anymore.
chemicals changed because I stopped enjoying it. I was like, I don't like how I feel. This
At least you
is
know that
awful.
about yourself.
Yeah.
Though. I mean, there's a lot of people that still smoke weed that are like, I don't even know why I do this anymore. Like,
Yeah.
Stop. You can just stop doing it.
They're like,
Believe it or
I
not.
know I'm gonna get paranoid, but yeah,
Right.
here we go again.
I'm one of those get paranoid, but also then if I'm depending on how I just don't understand people. Like I'm
Just stops
sit there
computing.
like I hear what they're saying and I
Right.
hear the words and I'm just like I remember this one time we were playing Go Fish and I was just they kept talking. I was like, what the I did not know what they were saying, and then I do this thing, and they're like, "That's what we just told you not to do." I'm like, "Oh,
You just didn't get the concept of the game.
your words, your mouth is moving."
There's no fish here, bro.
I don't get it. Where's the fish gonna go?
But so when I partake, it's always just minimal, just a,
Yeah.
just a little bit,
There you go.
take the edge off. Well, that's how's your plant doing?
It's great.
Yeah, I've
She's great.
been going.
She's doing well. I just watered her yesterday.
Okay.
I honestly have no clue, to be brutally honest with you. I have no idea if this plant's doing well or not. It's not dead. I mean, that's when I got this plant, I forgot I got it, right? Like, so I was at Flight Path and one
Were
of
you
the
high?
regulars there, maybe, she was like, "Do you want this plant?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude. I need more stuff for my apartment." And then I got it, and I did not as I was like driving home, I kept seeing something in like the back of the car, and I was like,
What is that?
it's the fucking plant. God damn it. And then I just left it in there overnight, and then I went and I grabbed it the next day, and I was like, this thing is giant, dude. Like, I do not need this. It's good, though. She's living.
Good. I was scrolling through social media, and that came up a few
It's
times.
a piece of content that's not a flyer.
Well, we did see the flyer of all the stuff you got coming up, and you were
Yeah.
talking about the one in December. What are some other things you're? I don't know how long we've
Port
been going,
Orchard.
but
You got a show.
I got a show
coming
in
up
Port Orchard on the
Orchard.
15th. I'm headlining that. It's at shit.
Yeah, you got a couple headlining shows coming
Yeah,
up.
next week I'm in Monroe. I'm gonna headline that show for Scott Coburn. Then I'm doing some stuff at the club. Always doing the stuff with Trenton for You Look Like.
Look
So we're
Like.
actually adding.
You guys are
They're
so
my
hilarious
favorite,
on
dude.
those.
Trenton is insanely talented.
Yeah.
And what's annoying about it is he won't acknowledge it.
Oh no.
Like we were just talking about that concept one day. He was like, I think it would be funny because like he bought this green screen package for something else that they were doing, and he was like, there's like a sports center package in there, and he was like trying to explain to me. He was like, it's like a pregame show, but it's not just statistics and this and that, and I was like, is NFL primetime?
Right.
He was like, "What is NFL primetime?" And I was like, "What you're describing is exact. I mean, it's a rundown of the entire day, but the dudes are also funny while they're doing it."
Right.
And he was like, "Yeah, that's what we want to do." So I was like, "So I'm just gonna write 20 roast jokes, and we'll come in." I mean, it for as high quality as it is,
Yeah.
it takes us no time.
Really?
I mean, at least on my end. I don't know how long it takes him to edit, but
Right.
he can edit the things and. I mean, we shot one on Tuesday, and he put one out on a Wednesday morning. So it was like we were there till 11 o'clock
There you go.
Tuesday night, and he put it out Wednesday morning at like 11 a.m., 10 a.m.
that was a great addition to the You Look Like roast. When I didn't go to this last one, but the one
Yeah.
before last was the first time I saw it. I don't know if it was the first time it went up, but
Yeah, I
saw-
think that was the first time he played it.
Yeah,
I was like,
it was.
that was
It was a real
awesome.
nice
Yeah.
addition.
That was
yeah.
so cool.
That show is coming together too. Like it
was.
Trenton is such a busy human being, and he's like, we want to add things to this, and I'm like, how are you going to do that?
Right.
Because you don't have any time to do anything. Like, how are we gonna? But he figures it out. He's an amazing human.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely a great touch.
And it's so fun to just be like, I'm not really on the roast, but I'm on the roast at
Right.
the same
Yeah.
time.
Sure,
you know, and
exactly.
it's always fun to just have goal writing jokes. You know, sometimes it's just I write something and then it's like, that's what it is. It'll never see the daylight. Nobody else will see it but me. But to be able to write those down, and then Trenton and I work really well together.
I was going to say that you guys really mesh really well.
We can go in to the room and there's never like, oh, I have to have this in because it's my joke. You know, it's never, it's okay. You want to do that. And then we both say all of the lines. So like this last one we did was one of the lines was it's a battle of January 6th versus Juneteenth. And like I said the line, but obviously I'm not going to be the one on the video saying that. And then like we kind of direct each other too, and he was just like, January 6th or Juneteenth? January 6th or June? And I was like, Trenton, can you just spice it up on the June part? Right. And then he did it, and he goes, Juneteenth. And I was like, oh, that was perfect. And he goes, next time, just say black it up. And I was like, okay, fair. At least I know the words now. Like, at least I know I'm allowed to say, because that's exactly what I wanted to say. I wanted to be like, hey, can you just pretend that you're actually a black dude for a half second?
You're like, but the way my nickname is set up, I didn't feel like I could.
Yeah, but those are so fun. And like I said, it's when we get together and just, so I'll usually, he'll write 10 or 15 jokes about everybody. I'll write 10 or 15 jokes about everybody. He'll send them to me. I write a little script. We bring it in before we put it on the teleprompter. He goes, all right, let's move this here. Let's change this. Let's go joke, 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 pause, call to action. Then we put it together, film it, and that's all we do. Well, that's all I do anyway. He does everything on the editing end. But
that's awesome.
We're trying to get a team together to where we can do that. We can do promo around town. We can do all kinds of different stuff. Because I think You Look Like it's going to be, like, if it keeps going the way it is, it's going to be a signature show for Nance. Like, it's definitely going to be a signature show for Super Funny. And
the venue was a little more than half full this last.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Show. It was really cool to see. Yeah. Like the growth of it.
I like that too. And it's like I said, you know, people here are sensitive, so it's hard to. It's hard to be like, hey, we're going to be mean to each other. Right. You know, people really aren't down for that a lot of the time. But I think if we can figure out, especially with the promos of, yes, we're making fun of each other, but it's not.
It's consensual.
Yeah, and it's not so personal.
Yeah.
It's not so personal that it's like, here's something about your life that I'm gonna shit on.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, hey, here's an Asian stereotype.
Right.
Here's a you look like, and that's what I like about the You Look Likes too, is as a comic, it's more of a joke writing exercise than it is like other roast battles. You kind of have to get to know the person. But that first one that I did, I didn't know that lady at all.
Okay.
So I had to do it all off of Instagram pictures, and her name is Lu So, and she was actually Latino, but she looked Asian to me, so I'm so glad I didn't say any of those Asian jokes. I was like, okay, I didn't have any clue. But that actually, I think, helped me because it made me write more generally than if I knew the person and went, oh, well, I know that you have a kid that's 4, so I'm making more specific that way. Instead, I just made it more general, and that TikTok has 350,000 views on it out of nowhere.
Oh, that's awesome.
And guess who didn't tag me in it?
Guess who left me out? Oh, man. That's awesome.
Are you finding is TikTok like your better social media outlet?
I don't have a best social media outlet. They're all kind of the same for me right now. Like if I post something on YouTube, it gets about 1,000 views. If I post something on TikTok, it gets anywhere between 300 to 5,000 views, like on average. It's not, I have no idea what the algorithm wants from me right now.
Sure.
But I just figured just keep making content and keep pushing it out. I have a few clips on TikTok that have done well, but I think it's more that somebody else cut them for me. No. I don't think it's anything that I did on my end, minus being funny and having good material and stuff like that. But it's TikTok is weird because it is very, you have to follow our rules. Like they're like, hey, we have this new thing. If you don't use it, none of your videos get pushed. Gotcha. If you do, like there was last month, it was take a picture of yourself and let TikTok pick the sound.
Yeah.
And it puts on there. Like if you didn't do that, you stayed consistently in the 200 to 300 views zone. And maybe that's just me being paranoid. I don't know. I don't. TikTok is not. I don't understand. I don't claim to understand any of this shit. That's why I want to do sketches. I want to be like, hey, I'm the guy that wrote and directed that sketch. That's as far as I need to go. Let everybody else do everything else. I'm good with that.
It's a tricky game that no one seems to understand. Everyone thinks they know a little bit. But
and now that I'm like trying to make content, every third video that I get on TikTok is another TikTok creator telling me how to get more views on TikTok. And I'm like, hey, cool. None of these work.
Yes, exactly.
I'll do everything that you say. Right. And none of it works. There's no point.
But I'll watch your video and give
you but I gave you a view because you said this is what works.
Exactly.
I've been experimenting with posting, and you're right, on TikTok, it's like, here's the new feature, you got to use it. It's like, here's what you do. And then they tell you to make the exact same video that they made. Yeah. And it's like, well, that's not what I want to make.
It's like the people who have the Make $1 Million book, and the book is that you have to buy the book.
That's how you make $1 million.
Exactly. Page one should just be write a book and make idiots buy it. Yeah, like that's how it's the same thing in a different form.
Get 1 million people to give you $1.
Exactly.
I did have a lot of fun with that. What sound does it give you though? I did have a lot of fun. I was throwing blue steel at it.
Oh yeah, that was fun. I get a lot of like classic rock songs, and then they gave me a ton of country songs that are like, I love my tractor, and I'm like, why? Because I'm fat and I have a beard? What the hell?
I know.
Automatically I get tractor music? Like, this is not my life.
I was curious, like, is it random, or is it like analyzing what's going on, the face, the look you're giving,
analyzes
and then
everything.
This fits with that?
I think it does background too. I think it looks at your background and goes, oh, okay, you're in this room that doesn't look like, it just looks like a house or whatever. I think I did it in my car one time, and it gave me like a country song about driving. So I was like,
Your plant in the back seat.
No, not that time. She had gotten out. She was only in the backseat for like 18 hours, okay? Like maximum.
Not long enough to kill it, because if that was a child, you'd have been in trouble.
Yes.
You wouldn't be here today, that's for
sure. Oh, man.
Okay, so getting back to, hey, you have a joke I take a little offense to. It's the bike rider joke.
Oh, you ride bikes?
I do. But I'm not one of those guys you were talking about, and I agree with you. I ride. I was like, wait a minute.
It feels like an 80-20. You know, it's the people. It's the 20% of people giving 80% of the people a bad name.
Yeah, but no, I agree. Bike ride. If you're out there, the ones wearing Lycra, they're jerks.
Oh, yeah.
They're assholes.
You can see them too. Like you can tell which ones are going to be the ones that are like, you're in my way, like from like a quarter mile away. You can just tell. You're just like, okay, I'll just get off the trail, let you do your thing. I started walking on the Green River Trail like about 1.5 years ago, and that has been one of the most fun, like just observe people things for me, because I just put my earpods in and I just go. Yeah. And I'm like, there are times where I'm like, I didn't write a joke about this, but it was a fun observation to be like, I'll be like, oh my God, your dog is so cute. And then in my ears, it's like, fuck your bitch in the click you clan. I'm like, can I please pet your dog? And I'm listening to like horrible shit on my headphones. And I'm like, being so nice to this person and just want to pet their dog. And then I'm like walking away just in a rage. And there's just interesting people out there, There's one guy that I haven't written anything about him, but he's so nice. I call him the Santa Man. And he's a bigger dude like me. Like clearly he's been doing the same thing I have. And one day he just stopped and he was just like, you're doing great. And I was like, what? I took my AirPod. I was like, what? I'm doing what? And he was like, you're doing great. And I was like, okay, thanks, buddy. Right. I just kind of kept going. Then every time I'm just like, all right, buddy, you're doing great too. Trust me. And just kind of keep going. This is my time of year, though. I like walking in the rain. I like walking when there's less people out there. It's a lot better for me.
When you have the joke, it's fall is white people season. I wrote that one.
Yes, that's
we have one person who dissents here, but again, not everybody's going to be the same.
Yeah, true.
On the way here, I almost got a pumpkin spice latte, but I was running out of time. But I was
also gross.
Wow.
I figure I actually don't like pumpkin spice that much. But I figure I need to get at least one for the season just to honor my white roots.
Keep your card.
Yeah. I don't do it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I haven't got there yet, so maybe on the way home I'll get
We
it.
would also accept you putting your Christmas lights up way too early.
There it is.
Before Halloween.
If you're putting your Christmas lights up today on November
there it
1st, you can keep your white card.
There you go.
I saw a white lady walking down the sidewalk on my way here today, and she had Christmas ornaments sticking out of her bags. I'm like, you're
time.
probably going to put your tree up
It's time.
right
waiting
now.
for
time.
November.
Not even waiting until after Thanksgiving.
So excited. That's awesome.
Jesus.
Me, I
awesome.
don't. I barely decorate.
You don't do fall at all?
I hate fall. I
You're a
hate
summer
the cold.
person?
I hate the rain.
Yeah,
I just,
summer. You strike me as summer.
Yeah.
I like this. We've been getting longer summers here. That's been cool. Like
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely got one this year, but yeah.
May to October. That's not so bad.
It's not too
Yeah.
bad.
And it was
Yeah, because
warm.
it didn't start getting super rainy and cold until like the beginning of October. Yeah.
Yeah, but when it switches gears, it switches
It's
gears.
It
hard.
switched quick too.
Just
Yeah.
fast. Like,
All of a
click.
sudden, my yard is covered in leaves. I know my neighbors hate me because my tree is giving all of them leaves.
The cherry
You're
tree.
the problem in the neighborhood.
And with how much time I have on my hands, I have not had time to
No,
clean
right.
them up.
That's
So
not my prerogative.
I want to help me. Go for it.
Right?
You tell them it's actually good for the grass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Protecting it.
Well, I mean, it becomes mulch.
Mulch.
Yeah,
eventually,
that's
you
true.
know?
That's
It
true.
takes a little while, but it does. It becomes mulch.
Right?
Yeah, that's very
My sister
true.
tried to convince me one time when I was living with her. She was like, "Oh yeah, but like, when the dogs poop in the yard, it becomes mulch, right?" And I was like, "That's not how dog poop works, Ashley."
Wait,
Not
it's
quite
not.
the same.
Dang, I thought I was helping my backyard this whole time.
Oh no! Boss is even like, look, pick it up.
But
just
my
have, like,
backyard grass is always
37
super
little
green
spots
and
like
lush.
that.
Okay.
So I really
you must
thought it
just
was
have good
because I
lawn.
was doing that.
Boss has just got a pile in the corner. It's like, look, lady.
Can you get it together? Yeah, I'm not a fall person at all.
That's all right.
I
There's
like-
other seasons.
Oh, absolutely. I
Or
think
winter.
I find appreciation. I was on the way here when I was just coming up Ellenson. I looked down. The leaves are changing. The leaves are fluttering around.
Yeah.
Just take a pause and appreciate it.
That part's pretty. Like
Sure.
the
But all the other
changing
stuff.
of the trees, that's pretty. Like, don't get me wrong. The visuals when the sun is out, gorgeous. And the beams
Oh,
on all those
100%.
colors, it's amazing. But what's outside today?
Weather and wind.
Nope.
Yep.
Gross. It's all sad.
It's all sad. It's all sad. and it's gonna get dark. It's
It
gonna
does.
get way
Look like wet
darker
dogs.
tomorrow. Tomorrow we change the clocks.
Oh, is that tonight? Yeah,
Yes.
we got a hot
But we fall back, so we get an
extra
hour.
hour.
We get an hour, but it also gets darker
Dark.
an hour earlier.
4:30.
which is the hard part.
Yes.
At least I used to work in theaters, so like I would go to work in the dark, spend time in a building that is designed to have no windows,
Right.
and then go home in the dark. That was really bad. You just don't see any non-artificial light all day. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Last year I went to Texas in January though, and that was, if you can afford to go somewhere that has sunlight, even for a couple of days, I suggest it. I'm going to try to do January, February, go somewhere if I can afford
It's
to.
a good move. Like
Yeah,
I used to go to Arizona a lot in February.
That's a good call.
And I mean, you would leave here in like a hoodie jacket.
Yeah.
Get there and it's like 70.
Yeah.
But of course, everyone there is in a hoodie or
Exactly.
a jacket. 'Cause they're like, what are you doing? You're
It's
like,
like a
oh,
weird
t-shirt
Yeah.
weather.
That's how it was when I lived in Vegas. Like when I lived there, January and February was cold to me. But then moving away and going to visit in those months, it's like it's not that
perfect,
cold.
yeah.
Nope.
It's fine.
Get acclimated. Yep.
When we went to LA in November, it wasn't super hot, but it was like upper 60s, low 70s.
Right.
And for sure, when we went out to brunch our last day, we were in shorts. And everybody, they know that we're not from there.
You're not-
Yeah, I was
It's like, I'm looking like, damn, I should have worn pants. Oh, I try to fit in. I was like, whatever. fine.
right.
I was in Texas and one of the dudes went up on a mic and he was like, "Can the northern people just be honest and tell us that they're cold?" And I was like, "But we're not cold, bro. Like it's you don't
really
understand. I came from 40 and rainy and it is 60 and sunny here. That's an awesome day where I'm from. Like,
Exactly.
that is a
Yeah.
very comfortable day."
Exactly. Exactly.
It's a summer morning right there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Perfect. So, comedy scene, kind of bringing it back to comedy, because you talked about being that's Austin, right? You're down in Austin. So it seems like you got New York, LA, Austin right now.
Those are the big ones.
Yeah. Any thoughts about that? Do you care?
I mean, I did Austin. I the plan last year was 2025 to move to Austin.
Okay.
And then I went and did Austin, and I was like, you know what? Starting over sounds shitty.
Oh,
Like, I don't need to come here and remake my name.
Right.
The way that comedy works now is you have to have an online following to sell tickets, essentially.
Sure.
And there's exceptions to that rule, but very few and far between. And you can get followers from anywhere.
True.
You know, Nate does it from here.
Right.
Scott Lassie does it from here.
Right.
Luke's doing it from here. Right. There's a number of people that can do it from wherever.
Right.
You know, I just worked with I just saw Zoltan Kazas. He's a guy out of San Diego, and he was doing stuff from San Diego and got famous that way. Like there's no reason for you to have to go somewhere now unless you want to go to that place. Mm-hmm. Like I want to go to LA. I have a few contacts down there. I also have writing packages down in LA that are out, and I would like to go see the people that I sent them to. But at the same time, it's like, you're going to go to LA, the scene is 10 times bigger than here, right. Which means that there are 10 other dudes who are showing up who do what you do. Mm-hmm. And if they get seen first or they get seen by whoever, it's just the numbers game is not worth kind of being anywhere else. Gotcha. You know, New York, a lot of people, if you want to get really good at showcasing, go to New York. You know, like I said, they only get 10-minute sets there, but I'm 4 years into comedy and I have over an hour's worth of material that I can do. Whereas East Coast people, they might have 6 different 10-minute sets, but they're never going to get to run them together. Right. Mm-hmm. So here, I mean, I don't know. Here is very advantageous because of the time that you can get, but there is more. Either of those 3 locations are more advantageous because of the name. It's like going to Harvard and being a nuclear physicist versus going to Western Washington University and studying physics. You know, it's the same answers, right. But you're going to hire the Harvard guy. Right. Person before you hire the Western Washington person just because of the name. So it's relative. I mean, it's all crazy like that too, where it's for a long time the East Coast people didn't like the West Coast people. The LA people thought that the New York people were just telling dick jokes, and then the New York people were like, oh well, in LA they don't do, because that's when alternative, you know, all comedy came around. They're like, well, they don't even tell jokes. And now they got the Austin people who are, I don't want to say they're all in that Rogan sphere kind of style of comedy, but a lot of them are, you know, it's a lot of dude bro stuff. It's a lot of just seeing the open mic. It's a lot of people saying words that was said that they're not allowed to say. Right. And it's like, I like I said, not everybody is like that. They have alt clubs in Austin too that are great. The Creek in the Cave is great. But there's a lot of people that just, when you're in that area, they're going to ascribe to that thing. Sure, you know, that's just the way it kind of is. I don't feel like I have to be from LA. I don't feel like I have to be from New York. I don't feel like I have to be from Austin, but it could also be easier. Who knows? You know, like there's a guy who just moved down, Tony Cardoza. He just moved down to LA 6 months ago, if that, and he's already touring with a headliner. Oh, wow. So it's like there are advantages, there are disadvantages. Sure. It'll all come the way it's supposed to come. You know,
that's an interesting observation about social media. I didn't think about that because when I started like watching, crashing, thinking about comedy, and you know, there's only 2 places you go: LA, New York. You know, and then
for a long time that was true.
Yeah. Now for acting, maybe that's, but even with a lot of people do sketches and such, they're still down in LA. Or somewhere in California where it's sunny and there's an industry.
It's just easier to shoot. It's just way easier to find people.
You don't got to worry about this.
Well, and then you don't have to worry about, you know, you need an editor. There's 3,000 editors, you know? True. It's not, and I'm not saying Trenton's the only one, but first person I think of if I got to edit something is the best, and Trenton's one of the best. So I'm like, hey, I need you. Then he's like, oh, I run this social media for this other guy. I don't have time for that, you know? Right. Whereas in LA, you can go, hey, there's 10 of you. Okay, you don't want to do it for $50. You want to do it for $50? Come here. Right. You know, it's just, it's way easier with those kind of But now you can even, I mean, I can take anything that I shoot, all the raw footage, send it to somebody in Singapore.
Yeah, exactly.
And they'll edit it
There's
for
a
me.
lot
Even
of
if they
outsourcing
don't
right now.
understand
Yeah.
the language that we're speaking and whatever, you can just send it. I mean, with a Dropbox link, you can send anything to anybody anywhere.
And it's like you said too, social media now, you don't have to go there. Your reach is social media. Because there's a lot of comics that I'm like, you know, they'll do a bit, and then the very end of the bit is the current tours. And I'm like, are they coming to Seattle? Are they coming locally? You know what I mean? Because I don't need to travel to see them. I just gotta patiently wait. And as they grow and start expanding their, you know, where they're traveling to, then I'm like, all right.
Well, and then the nice part about what you do, checking them out, is they look on their analytics of their Instagram or their TikTok, and they go, oh, we got 6% of our people are from the Pacific Northwest. We better go up there.
That's true.
You know, that's a nice part of it. I mean, it doesn't happen on my scale, but if you look at somebody like Nate who's got 4 million followers, when they go, oh, there are people in Texas who want to see us, we better go to Texas. There are people, you know, they're going to Australia in the next month. There are people in Australia who want to see a dude from Lacey.
Right.
You know, who want to get made fun of by a guy from Lacey. That's wild to me. They'll pay extra money to get made fun of by a guy from Lacey, you know? It's crazy. That's you know, Nate is, and having Nate around is like a huge thing too, because a lot of people, they might work with local headliners, but like, especially where I'm at, you know, I started right after Nate opened the club, after the pandemic, the first club.
That's where I first saw you at.
You know, we watched that place struggle. Yeah. You know, there were times where I was like, Earthquake is in town, and he sold 19 tickets on a Saturday night.
Wow.
And I don't think it had anything to do with, it's just, it was a shitty location. It was right in the hood, which is close to my house, but that's okay. That's okay. You know, but then we watched him, you know, Matt Rife came through. The legend, the story is that Nate talked to Matt Rife, and Matt was like, you can do crowd work. Why aren't you doing crowd work on TikTok? And everything took off from there. Wow. You know, I mean, literally from Matt Rife being there to a year later, Nate had sold like 19 shows at the Chicago Improv or whatever it is. You know, they had shows Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they added a Monday. Wow. I mean, the only other person I've seen do that is David Tell, and he does it in smaller venues than that Chicago Improv. Wow. It's just crazy. But it's cool for us because, like, we, you know, there are people that have watched Nate go from, you know, he's always been funny. He's always been a very good headliner. He's always been great at crowd work. He's always been very good at what he does. But to watch him build a set the way that a professional builds a set was very cool. There was like a taping that they had that was like this was like before he even got signed to CAA or anything, but it was like a Netflix wants to see if we can shoot in your space. So there were people from Netflix there, and he just ran a 45-minute set or whatever it was. That was very cool to watch because we watched that set go from, hey, I'm just saying this out loud on a Tuesday, I just thought of this today, to 6-8 months later. Right. It's polished. It's every sentence is a laugh. It's very fun to watch a professional do that, especially at the level that I was at the time. I mean, I wasn't even emceeing weekends at that time. Wow. So it was like, man, this is very cool to watch. And then you watch the work ethic and you go, okay, well, I saw, like right now I'm seeing him work his new closer for whatever the next special is. And it's like, okay, I saw one version of it. We talked about it a little bit. I saw another version of it. You could see that he had done some work on it between the times that I had seen it. And it's just cool to be like, oh, this guy's doing the same stuff that we're doing, but he's just at the higher level right now. Right. So he gets the more recognition for it. But it's also like seeing him do stuff like that is very, okay, it can be done.
It's inspiring.
And it's inspiring. And it's nice to be like, okay, you know, I know he says he's a fat kid from Lacey and it's amazing, but it's true. Yeah. You know, at the same time where you're like, oh, this is actually very cool that we get to watch him go from literally struggling to book acts. I mean, acts that would barely fill 100 seats in that, to being like, oh, Amir K is going to be here in 2 weeks. Right. This is a guy who's touring with Theo Vaughn. Right. He wants to come to my 200-seater and practice stuff. Right. That's very cool. Yeah. And just his career, too, is crazy. I mean, we could talk about Nate for 3 hours if you want to.
We'll have a lot more time to talk about Nate and all that as you come back and other folks come through. But I do remember first time I went to that Hosmer Club, Nate was doing some work. Mm-hmm. And then when I watched the special, I was like, I've heard this joke before. Then it's like, oh, it was him.
But it
crazy.
was,
I was
slightly
like, wait a minute.
different. Yeah, like it's been tweaked
Yeah.
and perfected, and
Exactly.
you
So
know,
that was-
see,
and that's-
you see
The evolution of
what
it.
happened, what worked originally.
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing a joke right now that's it's a setup. Then he does a bunch of other stuff. Then he comes back to it, and it's nice to see. Okay, well, I took this section of it and I moved it to the beginning, and then I tried to do this section. I tried to do the beginning and the end at the beginning. Now I'm going to move this. Okay, instead of doing this part, I like 3 lines out of this. So this whole story is going to get moved into this part, and then we're going to move it around, and then one day he'll do it all just like that. And the next day he'll come and go, I'm going to start at the end first and do that. And, it's just like the amount of ways that somebody can chop this up and move it around is such a great way for comics to see, especially younger comics. Because like a lot of younger comics will get into, here's how I say this.
Gotcha.
I've written this down. This is my joke. And some jokes need that.
Yeah.
Like you can't do white people are the only people that think pumpkins are spicy in any kind of other way. It's set up in a punchline in one sentence, but like some people get stuck in that and they're like, they can't figure out how to go from one thing to another. But to see a headliner like Nate work like that and to actually be at the open mic and see him work that is very advantageous.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think that it's been fun just going to the club, seeing the comics, and then going elsewhere. It's a Flight Path on Wednesdays.
Well, every Wednesday, yeah.
Okay, I can't. I'm not gonna. Everybody will make that unless my schedule
That's
changes.
okay.
But I live close to there.
Yeah.
I live in. It's closer for me.
They
to
got a
there
great
than Tacoma.
music open mic too. He has like Aaron Jones was in there the other day. There's a bunch of people, like famous people that come around that go jam every Thursday night.
So, oh damn it! I lost my train of thought. Tell us about
Going to open mics.
Go to yeah, we'll get there. But so just coming back to you and what you're doing, you got your sketches you're going to be doing. You're performing around. We're going to put up that thing of all your November stuff
awesome.
that's
Thank
going to
you.
be coming up, and you're doing one in Renton at the end. Where is that at? Cozy something or others.
So Cozy Comedy is
It's a company.
they're a company
Yeah.
that run. I actually haven't gotten the details for that.
Got it,
I,
okay.
I just got it as I was making the poster, and I was like, oh, I'll just put Cozy Comedy on there so I can tag them.
Good,
I don't know
okay.
exactly where it is. It might be. They usually do breweries and stuff like
Okay.
that, but it also might be at the Carco. I have no idea.
Interesting. That'd be cool for the Carco, a little bit bigger and
Yeah, a
stuff
little
like
bit bigger.
that.
It's in a cool spot too. I like that area of Renton.
I know there's a downtown Renton. It was local.
Yeah. Local
Local
907.
907s every
they,
Monday.
They do their Monday shows.
Longest running open mic in the state, as far as they know.
Really?
I mean, it's the local 90. If you're in the Pacific Northwest scene, if you're in Seattle or Tacoma, you have to go there. I mean, it's just part of. It's a shitty bar mic that it can go till 2:00 in the morning. It can be. There are times where it is really fun, and there are times where it's really not. It's just one of those places that like every scene has a place that this is the place where we do our mics. It used to be in Seattle was Jai Tai was a big one. That was right. I mean, I don't know why anybody ever enjoyed it. I went there and it smelled like pee everywhere in the whole building, and I was like, I don't get why this is like a legendary place, dude.
Right,
This is
right.
this is like a health violation.
It's like Chuck E. Cheese.
And then it got shut down for a health violation and never
shit.
came back. So.
There you go.
And people were eating food from there. I was like, I don't know why you would walk in this establishment and be like, oh, it
I'm
smells
hungry.
like it smells like piss in this entire place. I better get some Thai food.
Yeah,
Like, are you kidding me? Nah, I never understood
That's
it.
funny. That's funny.
I went to a restaurant, my local place, opened the door, smelt pee, shut the door, walked right
Walk
by.
right out, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, nope. Sorry,
no
buddy.
way.
I want to support you, but
There's no
Not
way.
appetizing.
It might be good, but it's you still got that in the back of your mind.
luckily, new owners. I've been in there many a time. They cleaned it up.
Oh, that's
so
good.
very happy, very happy.
There you go.
Well, we like to keep this about an hour, and I think we've been kind of hit that.
Yeah,
And
it's been fun.
but you always have a
Ish.
yeah. Do you always like to ask your final question? You got any final
Final question.
questions? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I was.
I can't think of any final questions I've ever
What's the
asked.
final? The last one
I've
that'll
asked
ever be
questions
asked.
throughout.
No, the one that you always ask, like, what would your advice be to comics starting
yeah.
right up? And I feel like you've.
Yeah. I feel like he
No,
gave advice
yeah.
throughout the whole.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
the
exactly.
main, the
This
main
was-
thing about
Not even
comedy is you
asking,
just have to
yeah.
do
I
comedy.
usually
comedy.
do
You
ask
just
that though.
do
yeah.
comedy. The a little more advanced. I've been trying to tell people is you got to do your homework too.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people that they go up, they do their joke, They don't record it. They don't know what it sounds like. They did something new, and they'll never do it again because it was spontaneous in the moment, but they're never going to remember it. I mean, you know, how many times do you tell yourself, I'm going to remember that?
All the
It's the
fucking
biggest
time.
lie we tell ourselves.
All the time.
You can't remember anything, especially when you're performing on
I
stage.
barely remember people's names. How am I going to remember what
Exactly.
I said?
That's a big thing. Is I have like a system to where I score my sets. I give myself a grade, and then I physically write what I can do differently to try to make it better. And a lot of people don't do that. And when I started doing that, my game, I mean, I went from if I was consistently getting C's, now I'm consistently getting B pluses to A's.
Okay.
And it just helps so much to do your homework. Comics.
I also do that when I go see comedy.
Yes.
She has a rating system.
Yes, she has
I
a
do have a rating system, so if I've watched you headline, you have been rated.
You already have a grade.
I'm at 66 headliners now.
We're almost at 6-7.
Sorry.
Sorry.
But yeah, so it's that's definitely a good thing that you're doing that, and
Yeah,
you know,
and it's
like
honest assessment.
football
of
players
yourself.
watching
Yeah, exactly.
previous games to learn from what they did wrong, what they did right,
Mm-hmm.
what worked, what didn't work.
That's super smart. A lot of comics don't do that either. Is they don't go watch headliners. Like there are clubs in the area that if you're a decently known comic, and honestly, you could just walk in and be like, "Hey, I'm a comedian," and they wouldn't know. But they'll let you watch the show for free if it's not sold out.
Okay.
I didn't do that for a long time because I was a jealous little boy.
Okay.
And now I can go in and watch and go, okay, this person got the spot that I want. What are they doing that I'm not doing that got them that spot?
Right.
And then I can watch a headliner and go, oh, here's something that they do that I like that I don't do.
Gotcha.
Or something that I do that they do exceptionally well. How can I up my game with that? It's all analysis, you know, and there's not enough of the analysis. So it's actually super interesting that as like a civilian that you do.
Yeah, it's more so for me. So I like to go to comedy shows.
Yeah.
I prefer to go by myself. No diss. I prefer to go by myself. Just I
Well, you
enjoy.
can,
I
yeah.
enjoy the show more. I've noticed when I go by myself, and
Sure.
I'm not worried about who's at the table with
Right.
me, interacting with the people at the table with me.
Well, that's the cool thing about comedy too, is it is community. You know,
Yes.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
If you go alone versus with them, you're going to react differently because he laughs. You go, oh, that's in our
What
little,
did I- yeah.
well, in our ancient brains, we
Sure.
go, he's laughing, I better be laughing.
Right.
It's actually a great trick that if you can get 70% of the audience to laugh, you can get the other 30 to laugh too.
There it is.
So like they might not like your shit, but it's a herd mentality thing
Yeah.
where they go,
Yeah,
why is everybody
that's
else
true.
laughing?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So would you recommend, even again, not just to put on social media, would you recommend to other comedians just film yourself to
Yeah, I mean, I don't
study
even
yourself?
film everything. I have a voice recorder; they're free. You can get them. You just type
that's a
in
good
voice
idea.
recorder on
phone.
whatever you have. iPhones come with them already built in.
sense.
Samsungs don't. Unfortunately, we got a lot of other stuff you guys don't, but that's okay. We don't have that discussion now.
No, name one.
Yeah. Like, no, let's do
I'm
this.
kidding.
Swipe,
Right.
swipe is my friend.
But,
You know, just record yourself, and then the hard part is you have to listen. Because there's no point in having, like right now I have almost 300 recordings of my sets for the year.
Wow.
I've listened to probably 250 of them.
Nice.
The point is you have to hear what you're doing in order to know what you're doing, you know. And I just got one of those little pocket Osmo cameras. I really like it a lot. Recommend if you guys like it'll do these jobs.
Yeah.
Dumb talk, but
Yeah.
I'm getting more into figuring out how to put that into play to where I can film myself and try to do more stuff for digital content, for all that kind of stuff. But the listening is the hard part, especially if you bomb. You really want to listen to yourself bomb again?
Right,
Oh my
right.
God. But I'll tell you that I'm doing this joke right now. That's me getting on an airplane, and I just mess with people. I go down the aisle and I go duck, duck, goose. That duck, duck, goose thing I thought up in a bomb. Really? It was like 7 minutes of a bomb, and then that thing was very funny. And if I hadn't listened back to that, I probably wouldn't be doing that joke.
Right.
You know, it's just something that you have to. In order to analyze yourself, you have to listen and watch yourself, and that's the hard part. You know, especially like I don't think I look great on camera. So I hate watching myself. But if I record my voice, I can just listen to that. That's nice.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's a key.
fair. We are our own worst critics.
Oh yeah.
Always.
We should be,
Always.
at least. I mean, I think there's a lot of people, especially in comedy, that aren't. That's where kind of some of the delusion comes into play, where they're like, you see people walk off and they're like, I crushed that shit. And I'm like, I don't think you know what crushing is. If you think you crushed that shit, I think you need to reevaluate. I think the bar is too low for what you call crushing. Because, like, I've crushed before, and here's the thing. You don't need to say it. Other people will tell you.
Yeah, you
it's
get
not
off.
something.
Killed it. You
Or
crushed.
even if other people don't tell you, you know. Like, it's pretty obvious.
Unless you're
when-
meaning crush it in like a literal sense, like you demolished it in a not good way.
You missed a letter. It was crashed.
Yeah, crash.
Yeah.
You're one
Crashed
of
on that one. Oh.
Yep.
That's so. When you go up and you do your jokes and you're telling, how often does something spontaneous come into your sets?
often.
It depends on what you're doing, what the venue
Yeah,
is.
it kind of depends on if the crowd is real cool with me just like being loose.
Okay.
I get a lot more of that. But like if I and it's not even necessarily the crowd letting you, it's just a feeling that you have on stage. That's another thing that a lot of comics don't do. They do not read the room at all. There was a bunch of old people at TCC the other day, and people were going up just doing nasty jokes. And they were like, I don't know why this crowd hates me. I'm like, they're all 90, dude. If they don't want to hear about your dick and ball jokes, they want to hear something way lighter than that. But that's most of the time when I come up with something spontaneous, it'll be I've done my joke, I've gotten a laugh off of it, and then my brain just goes, say this. And then I'll say it, and 9 times out of 10, if it's spontaneous like that, it works. Gotcha. You know, but there's a lot of times where sometimes you like there's a not an expectation, but there's a guy Naram Van here who he basically roasts everybody after every one of their open mic sets, and he's good at it. So he in 4 minutes he can write a joke about a person that is worth saying out loud. Now I'm not saying I'm great at that, but it's what I've tried to do. And I've learned that if it's not spontaneous, it's not going to work. Like if it's something that you're like forcing into something that they said, it's not going to work. There was one guy who came up. I think I can tell this because I don't think he does comedy anymore. But he sat on the stool and bombed for 5 minutes. And like the first thing that I didn't even think of this during his set, but I walked up and I grabbed the mic and I was like, this guy's up here doing stand-up comedy. He didn't do stand-up or comedy. And it was like, honest, it was very funny. It was the funniest thing that happened in the last 4 minutes, that's for sure. But it was also just something that I like.
The bar was low.
I have this bad habit of saying things before I think them, and that was one of them. But I was like, but it was super funny, so it worked.
Right.
You know, it was
Brought
very
the crowd back.
but very true and very funny.
Yeah, I bet it brought the crowd back
Exactly,
too, after
and that's-
that pain.
That's an MC's job sometimes
Yeah.
too. Is that you gotta be like, hey, I know you just watched some bullshit,
Yeah.
but we got 19 other people on this
Yikes.
that might not be as bullshit. So please stick around.
Yeah. Please hang on.
All right, Brandon. Anything else you want to be white?
Just check me out. I'm on Instagram at BWhiteComedy. That's the letter B, the color white.
Not
The word comedy. There's no E in there. It's a very, very different Instagram if you put the E in there. But yeah, just check out. I've got everything on there. Appreciate you guys having me. This has been super fun. You guys also want to just shout you guys. You guys are great comedy goers.
Yes.
And it is not lost on the comedy community that y'all are out here supporting us. So we really appreciate that. It's, you know, from the club level to doing like this, like fucking with us like this is very helpful to everybody's careers. And the fact that y'all are so great. Love it.
We appreciate you coming on,
Thanks
too.
for coming on
Yeah.
and making us laugh, dude.
Yeah.
It's
My
just-
pleasure.
Good time.
Love it.
Yep.
All right.
Thanks, guys.